Show your mastery in the blockchain game show, yo.
See Nickx in the house,
Yo.
strategy on the go.
Yo, pump the channel, spread the soccer.
All right, Andy Gore, CEO of SOCCERVERSE, doesn't need any further introduction. Big boss of Soccer Manager since ages. I don't know how many, 25 years of experience in Soccer Manager game between Web 2 and Web 3. Andy, like something like that, right? You're a super veteran.
Yeah, about that long, yeah. 25, I think now.
25.
A long time.
What a boss. We are honored to have you here, honored to have you on board, and thank you again for accepting this AMA. We are trying, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, to make it monthly, isn't it? Potentially.
Yeah, hopefully we'll. Yeah, I think that's our idea, isn't it? To
That's
get
the
on the
idea.
show once a month, or sometimes Snail Brain instead of myself, Andy C.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Definitely.
one of the two of us.
Yes, exactly. That's gonna be amazing. Big jump into community engagement and transparency and communication. It's amazing. All right, let's start, guys. Let's get into the meat. The meat. Let's start with. Let me take out the questions. These are, again, I remind you. Where are my questions? Are the questions that you guys posted in Discord. As soon as we finished these questions, if there is time, we go live. We're gonna take. So refrain from writing questions right now in the chat. Comment everything you want, but keep your questions for the last bit so that we can easily see them. Ciao Mave, ciao Looplab, ciao Guacco, ciao Guacco. Okay, let's start. Andy, we're gonna start with the first set of questions. Is about a match engine. SOCCERVERSE Portugal asks, when do you have planned to implement the new match engine, and what changes where will be made to it? So what changes and when the new match engine?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I'm going to try and answer all these questions the best I can, of course. And if I can't answer them, I'll just say so, and we can always come back in the next month with any bits that we didn't know at the time. Maybe skip over any that. If there's any that might give people a bit of an advantage, if there's something revealing that we might want to delay a little bit, I'll say so. I'll say we can't reveal that just yet. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to try the best to answer everything. Match engine. So the first thing, what we're working on at the moment is for this issue where it's highly reported that the defensive is too powerful. So we've got a solution to that. So, but rather than just deploy it, somebody else here is also looking at a solution to it, and then we're going to see if we've got the same solution. So it's like we're working on two solutions in parallel, just to make sure we get it right. Because it's really important we don't put something right. And the general idea is that defensive will be a little less powerful, and maybe we'll see what the other solution comes back at. But maybe passing will be the counter to defensive. So every situation has got its counter. So long ball is the better one to play against. So counter attack is the better one to play against. Attacking and so on. But defensive doesn't have one against it. So it's the only one that doesn't have a counter. So that might do it, just putting a counter on, and we're thinking passing. But yeah, that's the first one that we've got at the moment. That we've got the numbers to change, tweak and tune these numbers for that. But we'll see what the other solution comes back as, and then we'll see what's best. And if they match up in the similar solutions, then that must be the right one. So yeah, we're doing two separate ones. That's the first thing for the match engine.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And this is linked to this question, and it's still SOCCERVERSE Portugal, because he made the distinction between this tweaking of defensive, overpowered, and attacking not being so good, etc. The difference with another time when you, I think it was the beginning of season 2 or 1, the last AMA, You were talking about a totally new match engine, like a whole revamp of the match engine with the possibility to change the position of the players in the field, like dragging around, etc. This is the second question of Soccer Portugal. What can we expect about this, or is still in the roadmap, this revamp?
It is, yeah. I mean, there's two approaches we could take to this. We could rebuild a match engine from the ground up, and that allows us to do lots of things. Or we could just improve on the one that we've got. And it's not necessarily one's easier than the other, but yeah, we will be improving the match engine. Definitely. I mean, at the moment it does its job that it's doing, but it's good to get all the feedback, gather it all together, and then we'll look over it and we'll see what's the best way forward with that. But we are going to improve it. It's not going to be left like this. I remember with Soccer Manager Worlds, we would go back and improve it every so often. It does evolve. They do evolve over time. It sounds silly, but it probably won't be long before 5 years has passed.
Wow.
Time does pass fast. So
yeah.
We'll yeah, and we're looking back and we'll be thinking, wow, remember that old match engine. But yeah, it does its job at the moment, but I think fixing that defensive thing is the priority, and that's, we've got one solution, we're not deploying it. And yeah, so there's other things as well, like 2D, watching it in 2D circles and things like that, which we will eventually get to and evolve to, sure.
Perfect. Thank you. So there is not a fixed deadline about that. The priority now is tweaking, and then maybe one of the next AMA you'll know a bit better. Okay, perfect. Third question this is from Jabania. Are you thinking about expanding the tactical panel with more options and functions? Kind of related to revamp of match engine, I would say.
Yeah, we could do. We will do. Yeah, that would be. So sort of things that we could do with match engine would be more tactical options. Being able to play more formations. Maybe you can push players. You could select more formations. You could position the players more. And yeah, I think, and then visual things to watch it as well. And then maybe more advanced in team instructions that you can leave in there. So if you get an injury, it could be maybe a bit more explicit. So yeah, there's a few things there that we could do. Another one that we could possibly do is have kind of like form feed into the match engine, which is your players' rating gets better. If you're playing well during the season, then with good form, the rating could change a little bit. But it does reset at the end of the season. But it's a few things to think about with that. But that is possible. We could do the match engine as well.
Interesting.
So the form gets fed back in.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
Like a momentum kind of bonus on rating. Form.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. People is talking about asking about the deadlines, times, etc. I think maybe we're gonna have a look at the roadmap later, and he will, if he knows, he will let us know. All right. Next question is in this match engine section is from Zan. To have some kind. Oh, okay. This is a suggestion, kind of. I don't know what you think. To have some kind of energy drink for a certain number of players, for example, 2 players per match. So he's asking basically related to your form. Is it possible to have some sort of expendable, no, how do I say, usable, some sort of energy drink to boost the ratings temporarily of a few players?
Yeah, we don't have any plans in the pipelines at the moment. I know we did that over at Soccer Manager. You get boosts, and you can boost them back from injury, not just a match. So you can boost the fitness, and then you can boost how they play in the game. We've seen that, and it was kept in a football. Not energy drinks. We never used energy drinks. It was what was it? You could have a medical centre. You can have a fitness centre to improve the fitness. It was more around the player form before he got onto the game, rather than boosting him in the game. So we don't have any plans for that at the moment. We've not discussed that idea before. That was the first time I've heard that idea, so we've not discussed that.
Me too.
But, yeah.
Perfect, thank you so much. And then next question is from next two questions are from Sanks. Is there a bonus for teams with lower overall rating in a match or not?
Bonus for teams with no, there isn't actually. No.
Okay.
No. So if you win against a stronger team,
yeah,
you get a bonus.
That's...
There isn't one. No. But something that sounds very familiar to something, but I can't think what it is. But yeah, there isn't in at the moment, unless Snailburn can correct me later. If there is, you can correct me later, but I don't think there is. No.
Okay, good. That was quick. And then always Sanks is asking, this is like a myth. Because nobody knows. Is there haven't been any change in match engine, in anything in the match engine from when was this? Since full launch. Did you ever tweak it or not?
Since launch, it's different to the one that we had in beta.
Well, yeah.
So we launched with a different match engine. What have we changed since launch? We fixed some bugs. I know we fixed some bugs in there that we found. We haven't majorly changed anything, I don't think. Yeah, so I think we can debunk that myth.
Perfect. Okay. The myth debunk. Nothing that would affect the outcome of matches. Basically, you fix bugs anywhere else, but not that.
I believe so. Yeah. Can't recall changing anything.
Yeah.
So
perfect. Thank you so much. Debunked. Finally, now we have an answer. Now the next two questions. The last one in the match engine section. Guys, I remind you, I see that you're posting questions. You're very engaged. It's amazing. Keep the questions for after we finish the written ones, because otherwise we never finish the written ones. And then we go into yours. Time allowing. Pantheon Commanders. Two questions. First one. Will the formula used in the match engine be revealed, and for what reason are they all back?
Okay. Yeah, it will be revealed. So it's the whole game is gonna be open sourced. That's like not just the match engine, everything.
Yeah.
So the whole we're gonna put it up. It'll be up on GitHub, so we've got full transparency into how the game works. And the reason why we are not done that just yet, on the roadmap, when we looked at it, the roadmap said December, so it was supposed to be just before Christmas. We were going to do it. That roadmap went up in August, so we're a bit behind on the roadmap in general. We need to update. We're still doing everything on the roadmap. We're a bit behind. One of it was open source, but what we want to do is we're running tests. Like on the match engine, for example, where we've got this defensive thing. So we don't want to give anybody an advantage as soon as we open source it. So it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, we want it to be full transparency so everyone can see everything. And people will be able to help us find issues and report issues. So if there's another super formation or there's a specific combination of things that people will be able to find and play around with, especially with AI and AI tools. Mm-hmm. So we want to do that first, basically. Okay. So there isn't somebody try to remove anything like that if we find anything like that. And so whilst we've been working on the match engine to get it, everything's about having it balanced. So we're trying to get the whole thing balanced, not just the match engine, but also the economy, gameplay, payouts. So it's a big balancing. Everything's a big balancing job.
Yeah.
And we want to release open source the code once everything's balanced, and we're happy that it's balanced. So there's not any unfair advantages to people who go into the source code and understand it before others and find super loopholes or anything. We don't think there is many or any loopholes, but that's what's holding it back, revealing how the inner mechanics work and how it all is. Just to be fairness to everybody is the main reason.
We have
That's
some
it.
specialists in loophole finding in the community, and that's great. That's great, because every now and then, if there is one loophole, some of our community members, they're very smart, and they will find it, so that you can fine tune it.
Yeah, which is good. That's what.
Of course,
that's what
it's good.
Thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Thank you so much.
Soon. We put December, but soon.
Yeah, that would
Some
be a
point this year, I believe.
major change. It's amazing. It's gonna be. That's a nice way to describe, like nirvana. All right. We're gonna celebrate. Yeah. We're gonna celebrate that moment. Second question, and the last one about match engine for this part of the stream. Do you have some new data regarding the changes made for season 3? Are you happy with these changes so far? I assume maybe this was not in the match engine. I don't know what changes is referring to, like maybe in general.
I think we are behind where we wanted to be. What kind of happens because it's the first time that we're moving into. Every time we move between two seasons, we do like a lot of testing before we move into a new season. So we've got to test that everything is going to, all the correct players are going to have their ratings updated, that the correct teams qualified for the Champions Cup, and promotion relegation was correct, the payouts are correct. So we've got to do there's a lot of testing around the end of the season. So that plus with Christmas as well. So we're a bit behind already, and then when the season event comes up, it sort of like work more concentrates and everything, because it's like really important with this game that everything is correct, so there's no going back and reversing things, or not very easily. So we move with a cautious approach, really, as opposed to if it was just it still is a centralized game as we speak, because we're the only ones running a node, because we haven't open sourced it yet. But even so, we're operating in a way that it is decentralized. It is fully on chain as we speak. It's just that we're the only ones running a node, so we have the complexities to make sure everything's correct. As more seasons pass and we move into new seasons and we go through this event more and more, there's less. The Champions Cup code will be more. Well, we've tested it a lot this season, so we're probably going to work next season. So it gives us more time to work on actual development and features as the more the game goes on, as it hardens up and the bugs have already been found. So yeah, we're all a bit behind. So the list of features that we had up on the roadmap, we haven't done as many as we'd have liked to do. We would have liked to get that attacking defensive issue resolved by now. We're not far off that, by the way. As I said, we've got a solution, and somebody's working on the second solution, so we can pick the best or compare. So that's probably the only other thing, and we've got some economic changes that we've been working on as well.
We're going into the economic section right now, so probably you're gonna get questions about economy and tokenomics right now. If you okay,
yeah. Okay, great.
Perfect. So
in terms of features,
sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, in terms of features, we're a bit behind, so we're not quite as happy as we'd like to be with features. But they're still coming.
We're gonna be waiting. No problem. As I told you off stream, I'm IT development, coding. It's super hard to predict, harder than predicting anything else, I think. Okay, let's go. Let's move into the economy and tokenomics section. Just a reminder, Dringa, you're a big question maker, and that's amazing. But keep your questions for after, because now we're not reading the questions in the chat. We're gonna read it afterwards. Economy and tokenomics. The first question in this section is again from SOCCERVERSE Portugal, and is asking, like many others, by the way, guys, we grouped a few questions duplicated. So if the questions that you wrote are not here, is because they've been answered in other questions. So don't get offended. Soccerverse Portugal is asking, there are any new burn mechanism planned, and if yes, which ones and when? This is alpha.
Okay, yeah. So, yes, we've got something coming to announce shortly, which I was talking with Snailbrain earlier whether to mention it or not, but we think we're just going to, the economic implications of it, so we're going to double check it and triple check it and then announce it. But yeah,
something is being cooked.
Yes, basically. And I also got a big list earlier today of Tiki. He said there was a list of things. So I've got a list from the community of a whole bunch of ideas. There seemed to be in two categories. One was things that you could do that would give you more SVC. There's that category of things like building big stadiums, and those things. Then there's a second category of a list of things. So these have all come from the community. And the second list of things was not increasing the amount of SVC, but it was like things like boosting your team performance and so on. So they've got these two lists. What we've been looking at on things like that necessarily, it was more to do with the just the broad general circulation of SVC and what you could do with it, for example. Yeah, but there is something coming in that will burn more SVC. I mean, the thing, what at the moment the main thing to burn SVC on is the transfer market within the game world. That's kind of like the sink for people who want to have squads bigger than what the club can afford, basically. Which
cash injections,
and there's something coming along. It's in the roadmap, and we haven't enabled it yet, but we will enable it. We haven't got a date for that yet, but we will enable it where there's the fundraising. So a club could issue influence basically in the club, and it raises like a round of SVC, and people could put it in. So a club could say, we need to start the season, we need a left back, a new striker, a new left midfield. And I think I've got the details of how it works off Daniel. It's something like 5% of the club influence would be created
per round,
and then people can auction off, per round
or forever.
It'd be once per season, I believe.
Okay, interesting. Even though there is already packs are still available, you can basically enable this fundraising. It's nice. Okay, sorry.
It's the pack. It's the selling of the packs that competes with it. So they'll be competing with each other. So we need to work out how they can sit beside each other, or does the packs have to stop, and this is the only way of doing it. So yeah, there's that. So I mean, that kind of, you get something for putting your SVC into the club, so it encourages more to go in.
Yeah.
And then the transfer prices would then go up a bit, but because of a percentage of that gets burnt. So I mean, what we're trying to do, so that's one thing. What we're trying to do at the end of the day is have all the economy balanced. So it's all a big free market and it is all balanced. So that's kind of the aim of it. And so at the moment, so this is up in the wiki as well. So the economy, and I think I said this last time I came on the show, the economy works in three parts. The first part in the game world is that, I don't know if these are the other questions of tokenomics, but just to put a foundation there.
Yeah.
So the game world is meant to operate without cash injections, so it's nice and balanced. And in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, there isn't any inflation in there. It's like a bit of an elastic band. How much SVC is in there? It expands so much, but not too much. You can contract a little bit, but basically it's staying in balance. On the whole, there's the amount of SVC the clubs create for their incomes matches the wages on average across all the game world. There is some disbalances, of course. Some clubs have got squads from small stadiums and so forth. That's how it's meant to work. And then on top of that, so that would just go on now. If the players' ages and never retired and the age never changed, all the players always stayed the same, that would be fine. But what happens is players get older and they retire and new players come in. So the clubs would be losing money all the time because they'd have to pay for players from somewhere to or competing on the free bench. So there's a void of money there to the clubs to operate to replace the players that retire. So this is where the prize money that the clubs get at the end of the season comes in. So that's all extra on top of keeping it in balance during the season. This is all inflationary and extra. So basically all that club prize money that goes into the game world at the end of the season, that is effectively going all to the transfer market to replace players that retired. So that amount sets the price of the transfer market in effect. So that's what that second segment is. The prize money takes it inflationary, but it doesn't. It all gets burnt on the transfer market because everyone's got to replace the players. So that kind of again it keeps it in, covers the retiring of players. It keeps it in balance. And then we've got this third part where you can cash injection in. So that's all inflationary as well. And then we've got the multiplier, which protects the amount that can go into the game world. We don't want too much so it's flooded, so everyone's awash with SVC, but then there's not much competitiveness going on. And we don't want the injection to be too small that it's not worth doing. So if the multiplier was 1-to-1, there's no point doing it because there isn't even enough SVC to buy to inject. So that mechanic would be off. So we've got a multiplier in at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to work out what the formula is for that multiplier and make it public so everyone can see, because that will adjust over time.
So far is over time or over SVC? I think his neighbor mentioned it was FVC in circulation. The more SVC in circulation, so being mined, being emitted, the lower the multiply.
That's right, yeah. So we'll make the formula public. So we're still working on what is the pulse, what time frame do we want to look back on? Was it the amount of SVC that was created in the previous month?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So we'll make it public so we can see. So in effect, if there is an increase in SVC getting created, there's only really one ultimate place for it to go to get burnt. So that's the cash injection. So the multiplier's got to protect that like a valve of what's going in. So if there's loads of SVC getting created for whatever reason, and we do have restrictions, hard cap limits on what can get created from clubs and players, which I'll mention in a minute. But whatever is getting created, we're just going to protect what goes in. So with that multiplier drops, it becomes more expensive to go in if there's more of it, basically.
And this new burning mechanism, they will help reducing the supply of the SVC, and would this affect the multiplier at the end? Probably not.
Probably not.
It depends.
The one that it depends, yeah. The one that we're going to announce will burn more SVC in the short term and the medium term, but not in the long term. But that's fine because the multiplier would adjust over in the medium to long term, so it would be balanced. I mean, eventually we want to get where it's just a complete free market and it's operating. And it's also not so much like what we're not doing with SVC. We're not doing anything to deliberately get that price really high. It's not one of those projects. And again, this is in the wiki, so we've got this like farming model. So you could treat club influence as land and player influence as land. And what that land does every season, it yields a load of crops, which are the SVC crops. And then there's a consumption of that, which is going into the game world, which it's inflation in the transfer market for those people who want to buy Mo Salah. I believe he's up on the transfer market.
Yes. I don't think it's been offered yet, but extremely high.
So somebody might come along and say, I'm going to buy Mo Salah. they could buy up the SVC, as long as the multi there's enough SVC, as long as he wants to do it, and as long as she
Potentially,
and the
yeah.
multipier's correct,
Yeah.
he could go in and do that. So that's what that mechanic's about. And a lot of SVC would get burnt in that scenario. So that's the point of it. But it's all about keeping it balanced. It's like growing a commodity like wheat
But it's
or
nice,
oil
you know.
or something.
It's very nice that you have taken the initiative of listing all the community ideas for this burning mechanism, and you are ready. Very soon there will be this secret new burning mechanism in place that you announce. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's all we wanted to hear. And actually, the second question is related. Sorry, were you saying something? Did I stop you?
Oh no, that's
Okay, the second question is by Zan, and he's asked, would there be an option to upgrade the stadium and the funds? I guess this is probably in the list, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's one of those that could. If I remember, I played a manager game, a multiplayer manager game a long time ago, and every player's rating, you could train your players. So it's a similar kind of thing. And because player training was in there, eventually everybody ended up with 99 rated players. So and then it's sort of like some of the sort of the strategy goes out of it. So if everybody could pay to build up fans and stadiums, in the short term it would burn probably a lot of SVC, but then it would create more SVC.
Yeah.
Which would push the multiplier down when we've got that mechanic working properly.
Mm-hmm.
But you could have everybody with lots of fans. I don't think we're going to do that, but we will have a look at it. We're going to look at everything on the list. It's just how it fits in. So maybe, but we don't have any plans for that particular one.
Yeah.
But the stadium, the fan base does go up when you get promoted.
Yeah.
There is that mechanism's in there, and so the average of English Division 1, I think, is 39,000. And then you have that other. If you're topping it, so any club in England could potentially get that if they got themselves into top English division. And they could also get extra fans on top of that if they were in the top half or in the stadium there. And the stadium would automatically build on top of that. So that's quite a big. You could end up with a 45,000 or something seater or fan base, which is enough to compete in that league.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. There's probably not a super need for that. Another little thing, I don't know if anyone's noticed this when it comes to buying influencing clubs. Some of the top clubs that are well above that average, that may have started off with 55,000 fan base or 60,000 fan base, or even in England there's a 70,000 fan base. You kind of always got a permanent advantage over every other club in England because they can never get to that. So it's
sure.
like some people might think, well, the best clubs to buy SVC in is in the lower divisions because you can build them up. They've got a lot of scope to increase a lot, and they do have. However, the clubs right at the very top of the English league or the other countries that are quite a bit above the average will always have that extra fan base than everyone else, no matter what they do. So there's a little secret little Easter egg there with the top clubs that make them a little bit special.
Yeah,
so,
well, it's normal. There's always tier for investment, tier for everything. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's move. This is interesting. It's more a suggestion, and just to know what's your opinion. This is Nualo. The question is very long, and I will sum it up for you. The question is: can we have the burning of SVC for the club come directly from all the stakeholders, and except, for example, the manager payouts? If 1% of match day income come directly from the earnings of each stakeholder. So, for instance, 3 influencers, they get their own SVC, and then basically is asking, would it be good to have a tax of the stakeholders, sorry, the influencers payouts to build the manager wage.
Okay, yeah, it's an interesting idea. I have seen that on the list before. Yeah, that's an interesting idea where the club influence holders can effectively pay the manager. Is my understanding of it. That's interesting, because as the game world gets more competitive and the audience is more, people could be trying to attract managers from one club to another club.
Yeah.
And that would be a way to sort of do it like securely, rather than just agreeing something, which they can still agree. We give you this if you get promoted or something, but maybe there could be a smart contract way of
tax
doing
kind
something
of
like that. Yeah, and there could be a tax in there as well.
Yeah, I also find it interesting. And a second question by Nualo. I skip it, Nualo, because it was about building the stadium incrementally with this kind of tax system as well. But Andy already answered it in the previous question about the outdoor stadium. That is not really in their head right now because of the things that he mentioned before. So not we don't want everyone to have players 99 rating with trainings. He did this parallelism. Okay, let's move 2 questions about ratings, and then we move into roadmap and new features. That's the last section. So ratings, only 2 questions in the written Discord. One by SOCCERVERSE Portugal. What's the plan regarding ratings? Can you give us some more insights about how how it will work in terms of jumps and drops, so high and rating updates up and down, and will there be a cap? How the jump and drop cap will work? Yeah,
so I'm not sure. This Snailbrain may have more information on this. I'll check with him after. My understanding is we're looking to smooth out the rating changes so they don't jump and drop as much as they have been doing in the past. So, for example, if a player was 80 rated, and in what we've been doing previously, he would go to 90. That's what his new rating would be, and he would just go from 80 to 90. I think what we're going to do, we'll announce this shortly, and a very long time before the end of the season, so maybe within a month or something we'll announce how it's going to work, because people have got a lot of time. So now we would say, instead of going straight up to 90 would be his target, and when it comes to changing his rating at the end of the season, he'd actually go to 85. He'd go to the middle of what he is and what his target is. So instead of jumping from 80 to 90, you go from 80 to 85, and his target would be 90. And at the end of the next season, if he was still 90 to what he was meant to be, then he'd go from 85 to 90. So that might be either 87 or 88 or something. And because we can't do decimals, there would be a capture around the target of maybe 2-3 ratings or something, where you just go to the rating. So therefore, we would smooth out these big jumps. So he would tend towards what it is, and it's a moving target, so the target might change at the end of every season. So you're more moving to a moving target. So this is similar to what we do with the fan base and the attendance when a team gets promoted. So you got as you will all know, that the second division to the first division might be 20,000 fan base, so 40,000. You go up, you don't jump to 40,000, you go to 30. And if you stay in that division, you go to 35, 38, and then eventually you get to 40. So you got to stay in the division and tend to it. So we're looking at a similar thing like that for the ratings. And also the ratings will get the formula and everything fully public as well. So it's there, fully transparent how we do calculate it.
Okay.
It's quite a lot of it can be worked out when you had that soccer ratings website that we had. But yeah, we'll get it all transparent how the ratings are calculated. So if anything, people can verify that the new targets and the ratings are correct. But yeah, a smoother system is what we've been talking about so far.
Okay, perfect. And there's no set percentage yet, set cap yet, or deadline. We don't know if it's going to be implemented before season 4 or at season 4 yet.
It'd be for season 4, yes. We won't change any ratings mid-season. But
perfect.
When we move into season 4 in July, that'll be whatever it is that we change.
Perfect. Second question about ratings is by Sanks. And Sanks asks just about the updates on the provider, on the API rating provider. Without going too much into detail, how's the search for a new one going? Can you expect this new provider soon?
Yeah, for the start of season 4, we'll be doing that. Yeah, so we'll be talking to some. I mean, one thing is the data being sort of, we could maybe even compare 2 sources instead of just using one, we could use 2. So look for how many matches they played and how many goals they scored and so forth, just to sort of double check on things. And if there's any differences, we could maybe take a closer look. I mean, ultimately, one day it'd be for the community to do this as well and be involved with it.
Oh.
So we could cross-reference what we're doing. So yeah, it will move to be more transparent, but we've got one provider, so we've been looking at another 2 as well. Perfect.
Okay, so season 4 is the big day. Big changes to rating season 4. There's gonna be a lot of updates, and even in the strategies, people will want, like Kef wrote, will want to know the percentages. People will be starting doing all their calculations of the payouts based on the ratings, etc. It's gonna be interesting. Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's move to the last section of the written questions, and then, time allowing, we go live questions. So the last question is about roadmap and the new features. Let's start with Chloe. The first question is by Chloe, and he's asking, can you update the roadmap in terms of date? So basically saying, will you update it or not? Should I show the roadmap or not? Maybe later.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, we got.
Let me share it.
Okay. Yeah, just while you do that, Nick, I'm just going to very quickly grab a drink of water while you're pulling up the roadmap.
For sure. No problem.
Okay.
There we go. Let me take the roadmap. In the meantime, you can see this beautiful rocky thing. There you go. This is the roadmap. So guys, just a reminder, keep your questions for now. We have left, I think, this is the longest section, 6 or 7 questions, something like that, and then we go live. If Andy has time, we're gonna go live. But I think I understand why Chloe is asking about the updating of the roadmap, because Andy said that they're a bit behind, and so that's why they want to implement. Sorry, he's asking for the updates. We are in season 3. In January, there was scheduled comprehensive API and developer report, support user-generated content and tool building. And February, there were other things. There you go. Andy's back.
Yeah, so this is a wiki. So this is on the wiki.
Let me put it in the chat.
SOCCERVERSE.
Yes, I'll put it in the chat so everyone can. There you go. Can see it. Okay.
Yeah. So this has been up there since August 2025 last year. So the things in green are Era 1 stuff. So we've done the ones in green.
Green is done.
Yeah. So there are things that we've done. Orange are Era 2 things. So Era 1 was getting the game world working, which it is. And Era 2 is bringing out the trading side of the game. So it's not really focused on the manager side. So it's the portfolio manager. So a lot of the things in Orange we are working on. It's
You're
around the
working,
new
yeah.
app.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the red ones are Era 3 things, which is the fully decentralized. So we've got open sourcing the code, making it easy for people to run their own nodes so we can be fully decentralized, and things related to that. So improving the API and documentation so it's easy for people to build on top of it. I know people build their own tools, including Gore, so
Mhm.
it's to help. It's not that we don't ever stop doing things in the eras. So Era 1 we will still be improving the game. So that was questions at the start of the show. So we will still be doing those, improving features and things, but the focus kind of at the moment is moved on to Era 2. So we're trying to bring out the trading with the new app, the calculator, and things that enable that side of the game. Because we
Yeah.
know we've only got 5,500 potential manager roles,
Yes.
manager jobs. So we want to have the capacity there that maybe if needs be, 100,000 people could come to SOCCERVERSE and participate in the game world, or 1 million people. So there's a lot of capacity there. So that's why we're working on the new app, but it's also why we're doing the changes with the economy and payouts, and it was why we were fiddling around with the agent and things earlier. So it's trying to open up that capacity, not just have one world for 5,000 people. So we want it'd be more fun for everyone if there's a lot more people in there. And Era 3, yeah. So even when we're doing the Era 3 and we're fully open sourced and people are running nodes and we've got people building on top of it, app building, and so we would maybe help with the app building, for example. We might have an app building day where anyone building apps, we're online all day and we're there to take all the questions and answers, and the code will be open source by then, so we can help build people who are building apps. We're there to help them build them and things like that. So that's kind of Era 3, and then we end with Nirvana, which in June, Nirvana's we've done all these things, so we are now a fully open source, decentralized, busy trading manager game, whatever you want to describe it as, with all these different roles we've got. So that's Nirvana, and I think what we're 2 months behind at the moment. That's where we are.
Perfect.
So Nirvana probably August. Another important thing here is we do have keys that allow us to change parameters in the game. So we've got a bunch of parameters, so we can change payouts for manager wage, payouts for all the different things, transfer market, 7-player in, 7-player out caps. We can change all these whilst the game's fully decentralized and running with this sort of keys we've got. So at some point we don't want to have that ability. So we don't want to have that power.
Yeah.
At the moment we do have that power because we are tweaking and tuning things. Once we're happy everything, so the really important thing with this game is everything's in balance. Like I said earlier, match engine, we don't have any super formations and things. Payouts want to be in balance. I can maybe mention something about that later. Trying to get the payouts between clubs and player influence.
Some question about it. I don't remember, but there might be some questions. Yeah.
Okay, great.
What about these?
So,
these features are not in the work. There is just bonuses. Is there anything that you would like to tell us that is being done and it's not been updated, or anything that is been looked for? So player loans went in. Sure.
We did that one. So these aren't necessarily in eras. These are just generally improving the game, and we believe the community could build some of these maybe, and are doing actually. Some we would have to build, and some the community would build. So we haven't. Which one have we done? AI generated news. There's something in the works.
Nice.
That we might reveal at some point.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Score center and audio commentary. I think these are things that the community can build, and there is the score center tool, of course. So some of them we could build. So this might be Era 3 where we're helping people build these
Yes.
tools.
Yes. Yes.
International management we would have to do, for example.
That's big. That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Let's move to the next questions of this section. Let me get back to here. Where are you? Okay. Next question is by Sanks. Sanks is asking, are there any changes planned regarding transfer or loan limits in the future, season 3 or season 4?
Sorry, what's the question on?
Basically, when it's planned to remove or update or change the limits in transfer or loans.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We've spoke a few times about that recently, where maybe we can increase the upper limits on transfers. Maybe loans as well a little bit. Maybe it could go up by one. We noticed that a lot of the top clubs, the big clubs, don't actually use all their. Well, they haven't so far. Most of them haven't used their limits. It tends to be the smaller clubs that are in the lower divisions that are probably doing more of the building, squad building. They seem to use the lower limits. Yeah, we think now that there's more people on, there's this. I think this was a question for later, maybe if I remember, or I might have been looking in the old question list. How many managers there are? There's 2,500 managers at the moment, so it's getting a bit harder to cheat and do those sort of transfer deals. So as the game world hardens up and it gets harder to cheat and things, then we could lift these limits. These limits are in place to stop people just raiding the whole club at once. So that's the intention of them. So yeah, we could. We're thinking we could safely up them, which would probably be more useful to the lower clubs.
Yeah, definitely.
Thinking about that. Yeah.
Pretty powerful, these loans for the small club. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Next question. Thanks again. Another question. Will it be possible to introduce an in-game symbol next to the users who are part of the FA to inform all users that the communications are official and important?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll have a chat with TK on that one, but yeah.
I agree. That would be that's a suggestion, and yeah, I also like it. We have already the not the hooligans. I don't remember the name. There are some symbols in the game as well. Thanks. Another question was very in question mood. Will it be possible to split the national cups into leagues with 5 or more than 5 divisions to make them separate according to division rating? Ultras. Grazie, SOCCERVERSE. Sorry, I said it again. Did you get it? Because I was confused by the question. Did you get it?
I think it was the domestic cups to have group stage like we do the Champions Cup. That was my understanding of the question, I think.
I think so. Will it be possible to split the national cups into leagues with 5 or 5 plus divisions? So basically, the national be having more national cups for leagues that are with a lot of division and the ones with less divisions, to make them separate according to division rating. Thanks. Stop arguing with Nacho and can you write in the chat, rewrite in the chat this question, please, and then we'll take it back. Okay. Thank you, Thanks. Okay, Andy, we'll get back to this because I think it's a bit confusing how it's written. Let's move to Taddy. Next question. Are you going to implement a transfer feature allowing agents to pick where a player goes? This is a hot one.
Yeah, maybe. That's the answer to that. Maybe. It's an interesting one, yeah.
Maybe it's not no, guys. Wow.
It's not no. It means a few parts to this. What we might also introduce is so at the moment the agents might also power where if a player isn't being played, they can all make him unhappy and things like that. So that might get added in, I think, and that's highly likely to go in. Whether the agent can choose in the first place, maybe. Well, we have a good think about that. So, what the intention of the agent was for originally, when the game was first designed, was so normally in a manager game, the agent is just automated. There's not a human controlling them, and there's some logic behind it to make the decisions. So that's how you always play it. We thought it'd be interesting to try and put a human in that place. So that was to add more fun to it. So I mean, if we went from a starting point where the agent was just following logic, and as a manager you didn't interact with a human, you interacted with the logic like a bot that was the agent, like you get in every other manager game. So if we start that as a starting point, and you were on the transfer market and you were talking to that bot, what would be the things that would, how would it work? And it would be, well, if you weren't playing the player, the player would get unhappy and he'd want to leave. If he wasn't on the right contracts and the right wage, he'd get unhappy and he'd want to leave. Or he would be better off at a bigger club or a different club, or maybe even a smaller club, because his rating might be always, he's not playing because he's not good enough, so really should move down the division. Maybe he's an older player whose rating is dropping, so he's at the wrong club. So they're mainly the three things. There might be other things, but they're the three main ones. So when we were thinking with SOCCERVERSE and how can we scale the game out, because we've only got these 5,500 manager jobs, how can we scale it out? Well, how about if players could own influence in the player? People could just play that side of the game and kind of guessing who's on the way up and who's on the way down based on what they're doing in real life. So people always got an opinion on players, and then you using your real world research and knowledge, then you put it into the game, and then you start using your knowledge. Well, how is he actually doing in the game? So this is the point of the bonuses and the payouts. It was to create gameplay incentives and game theory incentives. So it's to give that player a brain. That was the idea, rather than it being some auto logic. So that's coming back full circle to the question. So then when we're looking at it, well, what would be the reason? What power should you give to it? What reason should he have? Should he just be able to make people unhappy, players unhappy for any reason he wants? Probably not. That wasn't the point of it. So it was what specific reasons. So yeah, one we've added in if he's on the wrong contract. So that's in there now. And the other two are if, as I mentioned, if he's not getting played and he should be getting played, that's a valid reason to get unhappy. I want to move clubs, not want to renew a contract. So the third one is he got too good for the club. That's in this kind of game. That one's would need a lot more thought. Is that one better? I've got a 50 rated young up and coming player that I bought from a club. He goes up to 70, 80 rated. I'm in the lower leagues. I'm playing him. He's on the right contract. However, as an influence holder in that player, I would get more SVC if he was in the top league, because the prize money pot.
Yeah, exactly. Now with this new change, that's what I want. Unless people strategize and want their player to go down only one division because they think they can score like 4 times more, or make more 4 times more assists or clean sheets, etc. But that's strategy, speculation strategy, predicting the future, etc.
Yeah, this is it. So what we try to that main theme that we've got is balancing everything. So it's a lot of balancing, and we've got lots of numbers to try and make. You can't predicting the future's hard, and we've got all these numbers and mechanics in there that we all want to be balanced and right. So I'm an influence holder in a 70 rated player. I'm a better being at bigger club where I play a few games in the top division,
Yeah.
or I'm a better player every week, and 1 or 2 divisions down, which is the better place to be, and you do the calculations and the maths, and so we've got to calculate all that as well. So we've got it all. There's lots of variables. We roughly be in balance. And coming back to the question of should the agent pick where
Decide,
he goes
yeah.
in the first place, that's quite a big one. It's quite a big decision for us because we are. It's quite a powerful decision. Maybe we could. If we did that, then there might be lots of edge cases around it as well, where we've got to it's not just one clean. Yes, he can make a decision where he goes because we want people using it to sort of cheat or anything or unfair in the transfer market. So that's a careful. That one's it's interesting. We're thinking about it and looking into it, but I think it'd be a big decision.
Keep us updated in one of the next monthly AMA. That's going to be a recurrent one, probably. Okay, we back to the Sanks question. Sanks actually clarified it. It was easy to understand now. He's asking basically if could be possible to divide the national cups into multiple national cups, depending on how many divisions this country has. For instance, in Spain there are 2,000 divisions. I don't know how many, like a lot of divisions, and so the gap between the lowest club and Barcelona, Real Madrid is huge. So as compared to other places like in Asia, many have only 2 divisions, and the gap between the lowest and the highest is less important. So would it be possible to have National Cup 1, National Cup 2, and potentially even National Cup 3 to make things more balanced? And the prices, same prices, just redistributed along the different cups.
It's an interesting idea, and I can see why. I mean, England's. I think it still does it, but it used to do that where it had the top clubs never got in it. There's a competition like that.
I don't know. I don't remember.
We've not got any immediate plans for that, and it's the first time I've heard that suggestion. So I don't really know the answer to that one.
Cool.
We haven't got any plans to do that.
Okay, no plans. Oh, it's just another suggestion. So the loud people enter your room, or the loud noise level is much increased now.
Okay, yeah. Shall I quickly swap rooms and
If
I'll be
you
back
can.
in 2 minutes?
Yes, no problem. If you can, it would be nice. Thank you so much.
Okay, fantastic. I'll be straight back.
Thank you, Andy. All right. Let's wait for Andy to come back. In the meantime, me and you. Okay, Andy's coming back. He's not finished. He's just moving to another room because he's right now in a public space, and I don't know. People is loud. Saturday night. this British. So guys, just to remind you one thing. We're almost finished. Well, actually, we still have probably 7 questions from the written ones in Discord. Then, if Andy has time, we're gonna go live with your question live, because it's already more than 1 hour. All right. And Chippy, Nickx, I have a question about the match engine. These questions, copy and paste it after we finish the written one. Let's see how he's doing the move. It's not there yet. Let's wait for Andy. In the meantime, guys, please I just want to remind you to follow this channel for being able to write, first of all, and second, subscribe if you haven't. If you can, it's going to be monthly meetings, possible. I mean, possibly. We'll see. So if you want to support, always welcome. More pizza for me and my belly. Yesterday. I didn't have pizza. Tonight I need pizza. Absolutely. So how is it going? I missed the topic on Discord. That's why I didn't put my questions. It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully there is time after the written one. Chippy. Seki Brazil. Are you new? Seki Brazil, are you new in Soccerverse? Yeah, totally. It's never enough pizza, boss. Never. How did you find Soccerverse, Seki? A friend? Or internet, Google? I'm curious. No, never enough. And then the results, guys. I don't think we have time to go through the results after this stream. We probably do another stream in a few days. We're gonna talk about Osmio in Soccerverse. Is that a user? Is a friend of you? Perfect. That's what we want. Please, Seki, I am big owner of De Lucas from Sport. Tell your friends at Sport to sell De Lucas to a big club, because I need his rating to pump so that I can get rich. Alright, Seki, thank you. Hi, Andy. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for waiting.
Okay, perfect. No problem. We're back. Thank you so much for moving, by the way. Now it's much better.
Oh, that's good.
Next question. So, where were we? This is a quick one, but I think I can answer. Mariano Raskin is asking, will you take any measure to avoid ride outs and ride in if possible? What do you think, Andy? I think this is it's allowed for now. What it's basically saying is, will you be stricter in terms of multi-accounting and these rights?
Yeah, I think over time, I think the more time that passes and the more people are involved in playing the game, it gets harder to do all these things. So it should take care of itself, everything. So it'd probably be harder to have two clubs eventually in the end. That's
the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah, and it's got a lot better with the more people. There's more people in it now, and people are. Yeah, I think it will just over time it'll self-fix. So it should be getting as incrementally better as time passes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, we're gonna be a bit quicker because I think we are already in 1 hour, over 1 hour. I don't know how much time you have. People have other questions. Let's see. Let me know if you have to go, Andy, and we just finished.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. Don't worry. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Next question. This is by Chloe. Will you add the national teams and more international competition?
Yeah, so it's on the roadmap. National teams. We want to. We do want to. We did this with Soccer Manager Worlds as well. We started off with as it is now, and then at one point then we put in the national teams. It does fit nicely. We do need to think about it a little bit, like who is the national manager? Is it automated and it picks somebody who's doing well? So maybe the manager of Italy would go and look at who's playing well in Italy, who's the best manager in Italy, and then if it doesn't, it got some certain expectations, and if it doesn't do well, it could be yourself. Okay. So that would be really nice to put in. At the moment we're trying to. The priority is to bring out the trading side of the game, and to do the get to Nirvana. That's. So I think these features like that would come after that. Mm-hmm. So it'd be
nice. That's good. So after Nirvana, there will be still development, internal development, and getting better, etc. So it's not finished from your end.
No, Nirvana's the state. So in the roadmap, it's like roadmap. Yeah, we're a bit behind the roadmap, and we could do with updating it really with the new dates and times on. I think that was a question I saw somewhere. We do need to update the roadmap. I mean, basically, one way of looking at the roadmap for now is that everything that's there, but 2 months, Nirvana's 2 months later. And one of them, though, is the keys. We've got where we give these keys where we can change the parameters to the game. That might be something we do quite a bit later, because in case things need to be tuned and tweaked, that's an easy way to do it. So we're giving away that ability makes it harder for us to then go in and, I don't know, increase the prize payouts for a cup competition or something, because it's not quite right.
Yeah.
So that part of the roadmap, that particular one in the roadmap, might be quite a bit. Once we're happy that it's tweaked and tuned and the numbers are all correct and the maths are all correct, at that point we can say, okay, we don't need these keys. And we
you
can
throw
get
it
out
away.
of it.
Yeah, you give it to us. Yes.
Give it to the community. Yeah, we'll do something where whatever's the best thing to do. And in terms of building new features, yeah, that's so we can even build things on top of it on the interface and things like that, and tools. It's like the core baseline of the game is all. Once we're happy that's stabilized, we can still make better interfaces, maybe get it working on new platforms, provide more languages and so forth.
Perfect. I just need to add one thing to the last question, because I forgot to mention a very nice suggestion by Chippy that he actually wrote it in the chat, but I had it in my spreadsheet because Tiki highlighted it. So, and I forgot to mention, and it makes a lot of sense, Andy. The question was about raids. So, will you do anything to avoid raids in and out? And the simple but very effective suggestion, I think it was Chippy that suggested it first, is to set the vote for managers. The influencers vote for default, but no. So the default vote of influencers as no, so that a manager for doing anything, he has to be accepted. He has to ask permission. Only active influencers. Thank you, Chippy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. I think I saw that. That was a few weeks ago. I heard of that one. That's an interesting idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good thing.
Okay, at least you know, and you are ready. It's maybe in one of your list.
Yeah, we've got other things as well that we're looking at as well. But yeah, that's an interesting one.
Perfect. This is a question again by Chloe, and is asking, do you think the FA situation is okay? If not, do you think about taking this in charge by the team? So basically, are you satisfied by the FA, and will you ever take charge about this task, the task that the FA does?
I don't think hopefully we don't need to sort of intervene as much as I think everything's better than it was last year.
Yes.
The whole situation's better than last year. I think on the whole, everybody all around, it seems to be functioning better with the warning system, which allows people to be aware that these are the rules. So yeah, I think since last year everything's been a lot better. And the other sort of thing, rather than sort of us getting more involved, we're trying to go the opposite direction. We like all the things I was talking about, the roadmap in general. And I think what's helping that is so when we bring out the trading side of the game, which is, so the next 100,000 people who come across to this can't be managers, they're going to be traders basically, and they will look after when there's more people looking after club influence and owning club influence, it should be harder for people to be going into the game world. Should harden up the more people that are in it. So I'm not playing it. People have come along and they're not playing it as a manager, which will be most people. At the moment, most people are managers, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
When most people are traders, they're going to have to look after them clubs. Otherwise, why have influence in it? And it should be, if multiple people are looking after influencing multiple clubs, or the club has got multiple influence holders, it shouldn't be so easy for these sort of things to be going on. So the FA might not even be needed over time. That might disappear as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So rather than us get more involved, we should be less involved in the FA. We might have less to do as well.
Yeah.
That's the ideal situation.
Totally agree. Perfect. Okay, and this is linked. Another question is linked with the move towards being trading focused. Version 2. This is Santa Claus asking, any scheduled date for when the version 2 SOCCERVERSE will be the main one? When we'll be migrating to the new app?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we're going to do what we're doing at the moment. So we're polishing it internally. The latest state of where it is, it's possible all the right actions works. You can do everything with it. You can set tactics. You can buy influence and so forth. So it's functional. And what we're currently doing is testing it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're polishing it, and we're still tidying things up. So that's kind of where it's up to. I think recently, Andy C. Snailbrain was updating the calculator tool that's in it. So yeah, it's there, and we were hoping sort of next month to provide it to the community, so the community can start playing around with it as well, and giving us feedback and helping bugs and issues and faults. So that's kind of, and we're hoping the start of April it's in a really good state. We've not yet made the decision what we're doing with the current app. We might have it still around somewhere so that people can still use it until everyone's very happy and we've all got used to the new app. It might be something along those lines, but
sure.
That's the line of thought at the moment. So yeah, not long. I mean, hopefully, the idea is next month that people got access to it.
Perfect.
And they can start giving feedback.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next question. Well, this is Jabanya, but we can skip this. He was asking what are currently working on, what are your focuses right now, and it will ever be possible to watch the matches live. I think we partially already touched this during the roadmap. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Yeah, at the moment, it's the trading app. That's
app.
The main focus. And the economy being correct, the payouts being correct, the balancing in the economy, which is connected to the trading. So we're trying to get the era 2. So we want to have the main thing we're doing at the moment is to make sure the game's got capacity for more people to come in that aren't managers. So then we can then start growing it out on the next phase. I mean, we got an analogy of where we are at the moment is we've got era 1, which is like I'm not heavily this would be a lot better for Snailbrain or Daniel or probably most of the audience and me to try and come up with this analogy. So yeah, we're building layer 2 at the moment, if you want to look at it like that. So layer 1, we've only got 5,500 managers. That's the base layer, and it's capped. And capped only there's so many players, and clubs only one of each. But that doesn't scale. So what we're building is layer 2 on top of it that does scale whilst keeping the bottom scale. So we've built sort of like as Andy would say, the Bitcoin of football as the base layer. And then layer 2 is like the Lightning Network if we're trying to make it lots of transactions and sort of things. So because we got 5,500 manager roles, it's restricted. That's similar to having only so many transactions per 10 minutes in Bitcoin what we're now doing is building a layer on top of that, like Lightning Network, that allows lots more transactions, which is what lots more people the capacity. So that's our main focus at the moment. And then when there's more people in there, it gets more competitive, cheating goes down, and some of the other things we've been talking about. But that's not just bringing the app. At the moment, it's hard to trade with the current app, hard to value your payouts. It's hard to see whether your players are underpaid or overpaid in the contracts, and a whole bunch of other things that you need in order to look after your influence and maximise your influence benefits. So it's the two parts: is the new app, and also getting the economy balanced so that it functions properly and it's all balanced. So that is definitely the main focus right now. Those two things. And bugs and things. Any bugs that are causing problems like that match engine one that we
yeah. And match lives, you already touched on this. You said that it's in your roadmap, the 2D viewer. I think.
Yeah, we could build. Yeah, there's two ways we could do that. We could build a new match engine, like I mentioned earlier. That would take a bit longer, but we could get more. It'd take longer to do. And then we can build more on top of that, or we could sort of like enhance what we've got, which is a bit quicker, but it won't be. It's less features. So which of the two we go to first, I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, we'll get there. As I said, the game will be around in 5 years' time, and we'll have some match engine, and we'll look back on the current one.
I'm looking forward, and we'll be here for that moment for sure. And probably 10x more of us. Now, last 3 questions, guys. And then if Andy has availability, we'll answer your live questions. A few ones, because it's already 1 hour and a half. So we don't want Andy to be too tired. Because on Monday, he has to work for SOCCERVERSE, right? And not Sunday, hopefully. So we want to preserve his energy. Let's pick these other 3, the last 3. This is interesting, and it's probably another hot one. Pantheon Commander asked, can we expect to give customized contracts to managers in-game anytime soon, if at all?
Not soon, but it's similar to the other question, where maybe there could be a smart contract of some sorts. That was coming when the influence holders paid a manager. The club, the thing with the club doing it directly, that might be something we can do later on when the game world's more hardened up to cheating and things. I think what we had is somebody was just going in and with lots of alt accounts and taking over lots of clubs that are available and paying themselves the maximum as a way to extract SVC. That was the reason why we've got the manager wage low at the moment. When the game world's functioning properly, we could even put that up, and then maybe we could look at ways where people could come up with more bespoke contracts between the club and the manager to attract the manager there. That would be the point of that.
Yeah.
So you could do your jobs board, and you could put it in, and the manager knows that he doesn't have to trust that they will do that. It's sort of built in. But yeah, at the moment, the thing stopping us doing things like that is the
version 2.
Somebody just cheating. Yeah.
But at the end, this is can also be done by the community, because it's not it's just an automation tool. An account can be created specifically for that. I can code that Andy send a certain amount of SVC to this account, and I monitor the game, and the contract is if Nickx finishes at 5th position above, that money gets sent to that SVC gets sent to Nickx, otherwise comes back to Andy. Or it's I think this can be outsourced, can be community. Definitely, it's not that difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, last 2 questions, guys. Marius asked about long-term vision for SVC value. This is a pretty broad question. Insight in the long-term value of SVC? What's your view on SVC?
Yeah, so I think the way the economy works, the way this game works is, so we first off, we're not trying to push the price of SVC up. We're not one of those projects. SVC is like, certainly in the medium term, and the short term and the medium term. Well, the short term, it's probably because we've disbalanced it a bit at the moment, so it's lower than what it should be, I think, and we expect it to. I don't know if I'm allowed to predict market prices and things like that, so I don't want to really say that. But
you cannot. Just say, I mean, no, it's an inflationary SVC. It's inflationary assets, and as every inflationary assets, the price, I can say, because it's just math and logic, is meant to go down depending on how much interest there is and speculation. So that probably can explain 3/4 of SVC price action through time. But please go on.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, it's like the price of something that's so what it isn't is a store of value. We're not intending it to be a store of value.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's not a Bitcoin, and we're not one of these projects where the point of that isn't to store it and expect it to increase over time. That's not the point of it. It's more of a means of exchange to play the game. That's its intention. So it's more like I mentioned earlier. It's more like a wheat. You can view it as a wheat or oil. It's something that's produced and consumed. So it's like it's something like that. So when you own influencing players and you own influencing clubs, what you're doing is that's like land, and you are growing SVC off it. The more influence you've got, the more SVC you grow, and then you're selling it to other people who consume it, and they might consume it by buying more influencing players and clubs, which creates more SVC. So in that effect, that would be inflationary if it was just doing that. But there is a consumption where it all gets the wheat gets eaten, if you will, where it goes into the game world and it gets burnt off in the transfer market for people who want to buy Mo Salah, who's now on the transfer market. And I can say Mo Salah because we've got the FIFA Pro license. Right? Last time I came on the show, I could say that. So we can see so someone who might go and do that in Mo Salah, and it's more like a consumable than a store of value. That said, the price wants to operate within a boundary of upper and lower, and ideally it would be steady. Because the reason why you want it to be steady is because if you come along and you buy a load of influence in a player for I don't know, whatever it cost you, 1 million SVC. Well, we wouldn't have that much, would we, outside of the game? Say you bought some influence in a play, I don't know, 10,000 SVC. And what you're kind of doing there is you're looking at what he does over the lifetime of that player, which might be 5 years if he's a 26-year-old. And you say, well, I own that influence now. How much SVC am I getting a season off that player? And you're sort of saying, well, when's he going to retire in real life? Or is he at the right club, coming back to what we're talking about with the agents? So you interact with other people to make sure he's at the right club. So you're getting the correct SVC or the maximum you can get a season. So in that thing, if you've got the SVC price swinging up and down all over the place, you're not really, that's making it harder to play the game like that. So the SVC price wants to be kind of, it's not one of these things that we're trying to like get to going up 100 times up. That's not. It's people playing the game will realize this. And your influence. So nothing in this game is static as well. Everything's moving constantly. The whole game's not static. Players is the cog. Is the player ratings changes every season. That's the cog that changes all cogs. And then that means how good the clubs are have all changed at the end of the season because all the player ratings have changed. So the clubs have then got to adjust the player ratings. The club might get promoted, it might get relegated, it might not be able to afford the squad it's got, might have to sell. So nothing's static in this game. You couldn't just have your influence or have a club and then just leave and come back in 5 years' time, and you would have nothing.
Yeah,
so you've got to be.
That was a smart move to do. The inactive status.
Yeah. So you've kind of got to be always doing stuff in the game. Everything's moving around all the time. There's no have some influence in something and then just that's it. It's just going to do its thing. You could come back in your club. Your club's been relegated 3 seasons because you had a bad manager and you didn't do anything about it, or they were raiding your club and you didn't get rid of him. So there's nothing. So the whole point is you've got to keep working in the game if you want to put it like that. And the SVC is a mechanism to do transactions with. The more review you've got is the better, of course. It allows you to get more influence, but then you've got to have the right influence. You've got to look after your influence. If it might be the right time to sell your influence to the player, it might be the right time to sell your influence to the club and move it somewhere else. So the SVC is a mechanism for doing that, basically. The more you've got is the better, but it's not. So we don't want the price going really low. We don't want it shooting right up. We want it bouncing up and down all over the place. Yeah. It's better, but also we don't want to interfere with its price either, or influence prices. We want to tune up the numbers, get the maths correct in the game economy,
and then
ultimately let it
run. Exactly.
Let it run, yeah. And if we've got the maths right, if we've got the payout formulas right, which is what we're tuning and tweaking and playing with, that's what we're aiming at. And then we can give up those keys ultimately. And then the things that's changing is the player ratings in real life. And it'll be going into it all like an engine, and we keep changing that as the cog, updated by the community. And everyone, it's in a fair way based on a formula that's coming off what these players are doing in real life. But it's all like operating mathematically correct, and the payouts are correct, the incentives are correct. It's match day is in balance, isn't super formula. So it's a big thing is balancing everything and getting the maths right. But yeah, this isn't SVC priced. It's not a store of value. That's all. It's a means of exchange to play the game and to keep on top and help you look after your influence and buy the right influence at the right time and sell it at the right time.
That's the beauty of Soccerverse, to be honest, and the excitement. If you know soccer, you will have way more, I think, edge than pure traders, for sure. This is a soccer management game. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much, Andy. There is the last question, and then it's very late. I don't know if we're gonna have time for live ones, but let's start. This is Sanks. Basically, I read it. Is will substitutions or player and position numbers, or how to best prepare them and how to better understand the automatic substitutions, will all of this be better explained in the future? We'll open source all the code, and then it'll be there for everyone to see. So the explanation will be in the code of how everything works. That'll be a good thing when we open source it all. That specific question, I could get back. Meanwhile, before we open source the code, I'd have to have a look a bit more into that specific question, finding out how it works exactly. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, I cut you off. I thought you finished the question. So basically, you're going to provide more details, maybe in one of the upcoming monthly AMAs.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
What?
Andy, these were the questions that people put in Discord. Now, of course, people would love to write 2,000 questions live stream. How much time you have? Let's start with this question.
Yeah, that's
you okay. If you are free, we're gonna go through them. Okay, guys, let's start with the first question that I saw. Thank you, put the question there, and I will ask Andy. So, by the way, welcome to Klovn58, first time chatter, a new follower. Thank you so much. He is asking, will we get more transfers these seasons or more loans? We partially already mentioned this, and the answer is probably not, right, Andy?
For the upper limit from 7s to going up, maybe, but I think it's the lower clubs that are sort of use them, and what we see in the top clubs don't. So possibly, yeah, it's maybe.
Okay, good. Another question by Klovn58. Will the rating of player change this season? And this has also been touched previously. We can say during this mid-season, no. Between season 3 and 4, yes. And a lot of changes will come. The provider will be different, and the smoothing of the update ratings will come into place. So that's basically what is going to happen. Am I right?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
I just skimmed through. If there's anything that you already cover, I just passed. I was for another final whistle. This is interesting. Akidral is asking, any plan for another final whistle event?
Yeah, the last one was good fun. So possibly in the summer.
In the summer.
Yeah, we'll have a think about that and announce it.
Perfect. Yeah. Come to Australia. Actually, Andy, I will see Lucas here in Australia. I might try to organize we have a few Australians here playing SOCCERVERSE, so maybe I will organize like a meetup, like a one day in Sydney, SOCCERVERSE meetup, Australia. That would be fun. For sure, I'm gonna see Lucas. And then if anyone else is from Australia and wants to join us for a beer over SOCCERVERSE, it's gonna be there this month. Cool.
Excellent.
Nick, any chance of transfer coming away from being auction based? Probably more something for when there is more players in the game to limit cheating. Yes, but is there plans in the future for transfer to just be completed between two clubs only?
Not right now. Again, yeah, you're right. It's that transfer auction activities to combat cheating. So like other things that we've got, like transfer limits, is again will get to a point where it's hard to cheat. There's not much need for an auction system. We could do direct deals or swap deals. That it would be great to do those. Definitely. I think that would make the game a lot better. It is the cheating thing at the moment. That's the problem. Because with a centralized game, we could just go in there, we could just reverse the transfers. But with this, we won't be able to.
Cool.
So yeah, it needs to be harder to cheat first.
More mature.
I would like to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone would love to. It's like just in real life, but this is a trade-off. We are a fully on-chain game. It's not real life, so there must be some trade-off. Chippy is asking about fitness consumption. From what you mentioned, we know that if a player's fitness is at 70, then play with a 30% penalty. What happens if fitness is 90? Is that a 10% penalty? And if it's 60, it's 30%. So basically, is this linear?
I would have to look into them. I can't remember the maths of that off the top of my head. But I love to look into how fitness works, and
you let us know.
Let you know, yeah.
If we start doing this monthly, I will take notes. I will probably take minutes and to-do list. And well, this is gonna be published on YouTube, so it's gonna be there forever for everyone to remember. Be careful of what you say, and
Oh, it's too late now. We're an hour and a half in.
Okay, now you're in. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is at the end of the season. Thank you, Saki, for replying. Loop Lab. Since Andy is the CEO, we are players but also investors. How the project is going? How strong is the project? Is it meeting the starting business plan? How can you assure us that the project is strong and long term? Because he's saying crypto world is crazy, and we know. Point. And then one thing you think was successful about the project and one thing that was bad.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, certainly for the long term. So the reason why is this, we've been working on this for a long time. We've started working on it in 2018, actually. So we've had a few rounds of betas and things. So things are taking, we come up with ideas of how we want things to be and what we want to put in. So we come up with a list, international management, for example. And then as we're working on things, what we tend to do, unlike a normal centralized game, where you can just make it, and then you can just, if it's an online game, normally you can just fix it and patch it and so forth, or maybe even do a second iteration of it, or you many football games will have a release every year if it's a single player game, and you could just improve from the previous year. With this one, it's kind of very delicate because every time we change something, it affects. We've got to be careful. It takes time to change things, so and get it right, and we move cautiously. So if we're increasing a payout or something, we're always constantly trying to keep things in balance and get things in balance. So that's the challenge of this, I guess. But it's also because we're taking our time on it to get things right. We're not trying to. I don't know what you call them, these pump and dump projects. I'm not really from the crypto background, but we're certainly not doing anything like that. We're trying to get all the balance and the maths right, the economy right, and the match engine right, and everything's fair, and the incentives are right. So yeah, it's getting stronger. The game itself is getting stronger all the time. I think we've got more managers on now than we've ever had, even though we're probably not going to fill up until we get to era 2 and we got the trading side. We might not get lots more people on that we've currently got, because the clubs do diminish as you go down. The appeal of certain clubs is less than top clubs
for now.
So for now, yeah. When you're in as a trader, you're looking at it all differently. You'll be looking at potential of clubs and what they could be and things like that. So it will harden up. So, but yeah, I mean, we're here. It was the same where are we in it for the long term? We've been in it for a long time already, continuously improving it. And another things to sort of which will give confidence to people. So, the Nirvana state makes the game. The idea of the game is it can't be turned off. So that's the Nirvana. That's the era 3 things that were on the roadmap. So people can run their own nodes. So we make a joke as if us guys all got wipes off the face of the map and we're all gone, the game lives on. That's the point. The community run it, own it.
Absolutely.
The source code is open sourced. That's Nirvana. That's what we're aiming at. So we can't turn the game off. So yes. that's kind of what we're getting at, and of course we once we've got the parameters right and the maths right and the formulas right, it's balanced and we're happy with it. We won't be able to interfere with that either. This is what we're saying with the Nirvana. So that should give confidence, and it's not about people are buying influence and things. It's not just about people who've put some money in to play the game. It's actually people put time into the game and invest a lot of time in playing the game, building the squads. And so forth. So
scouting as well.
And one more to give confidence is the game is a blockchain remake of Worlds, although there is only one world. That's the big difference with that. That game's been going over 20 years now. and there's some people still been playing it from the beginning, and that isn't money invested or into whatever. They're investing time into that, and some people they own those clubs that they played those games with, and they own the players at their clubs. That's how they see it. I mean, they don't actually, because it's centralised, it can be turned off. So, that game is still running. So the intention isn't. It's here for the long term. That's always been its intention. I mean, that's why it's been so hard and takes time, and we've been slower getting the game to where it is because we've been doing a lot of the work and effort is going on the challenges to get it working on the blockchain so it is permanent and can't be switched off.
Yeah.
This game world could be running where it is a long time ago if we hadn't gone to. So I think what I'm saying is that this game could have been out where it is now a while ago, but we are spending a lot of the whole point of it from the ground up is built to be around forever, and the work we're doing at the moment is balancing it so it functions properly forever as well.
So overall, from a business perspective, you're satisfied on how it's going, the goals are met, and there's nothing really, because he also mentioned one bad thing that was bad so far and how you're going to make it better. This sums up a little bit your sentiment about how it's going as a business.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think we're behind where we wanted to be. That's definitely the main thing. Yeah, time-wise. And Era 2 is... So, yeah, Era 2, we're definitely behind. The challenge now is bringing out Era 2, the trading side, so we can have a lot more people can participate in it. So from the business side of things, that's something that is the main focus, so we can grow the user base. I think that's the main thing. Good things, yeah. I mean, the good thing that from a good thing and a bad thing, I think the good thing is that the game world is functioning. So this is a really big game world. When we did Soccer Manager Worlds, the biggest one had 500 teams in it. And lots of game worlds, we made hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but certainly tens of thousands of game worlds were made over there over the years. Some of them failed, some of them worked, and some are thriving. And they still have been since the beginning. Some got created, got filled up, and they just died. Some died instantly, some faded off later. So that was challenging. And we always look at it, why would some thrive, and always researching into it, why did some die? But it was come down to how they were filled up originally. So if you made a game world and someone went in and took over 30 teams at the start and moved all the best players somewhere, nobody else would want to play in it. So it's kind of like dead from the beginning. And if you had ones where you would lock it and you would check who's going to be a manager of each club, and then you'd unlock it, that they would survive and absolutely thrive, and they would go. It's just still running a lot of these game worlds. Some game worlds have been running for 20 years, literally from the beginning, and that's not on chain either. So it was how it was deployed. So the big challenge was when we first put it out was we're putting it out once, and we've got over that. So that was a big deal. That was the first big tick. Game world is functional and working. And a really big one, and from scratch. So that's the best thing, I think. And the worst thing, yeah, I think you just said we're just a bit behind where we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's
perfect. Well, as I said again, it's difficult to predict anything in this world, especially development. So don't worry.
Especially player ratings.
Exactly, and. It's part of the game. Also, it's part of us as players to have the patience because we know it's not in nirvana state yet. We are into this knowing that the state is changing. So in my opinion, we should just be patient and enjoy the ride, because we're very early. We're still super early, guys. This you can answer very quickly because we already touched it. It's bullet points. We know the roadmap. This is Dringa. But can we know the coming features and updates coming? So version 2, basically. What else? Just bullet points.
Yeah, version 2 trading app. Some economy changes.
True.
Will
The
announce
burning
shortly.
new burning mechanism, secret burning mechanism.
Yeah, I would speak out of burn in the short term, medium term, long term. It might create SVC, but by
Okay.
then
Well,
we'll have adjusted something else. So, okay,
something new.
something new. Yeah, and then all the things on the roadmap really. So the Nirvana, getting it to the Nirvana state. We're going to list and announce any final GSP changes, back-end changes. And yeah, we might look into some of the things like tuning, extra transfer payout, transfer ins and outs. We'll look at those. Yeah, they're the immediate things coming, but
Exactly.
on the roadmap, especially the orange and red things.
Good. SOCCERVERSE Portugal. When? So he wants a date. Difficult, but when can we expect the changes to match engine?
Is this the defensive attacking thing?
He's been general, I think, on purpose because he liked to know both based on the questions he posted. But let's start with the defensive tweaks. Yes.
I probably sometime in the next 5-6 weeks within that, so it could be sooner.
Okay.
But that's like a time frame, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to get the numbers right. The last thing we want to do is make defensive really weak.
Yeah.
The weakest thing.
Let's say
something else.
Halfway season onwards, not immediately, not the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
Perfect. I'm skipping through. Club friendly arrangement will be cool. Block is asking about what feature that is the friendlies. Club friendlies will be cool if we can have them at some point. Maybe with a cap of 4 or 5 maximum. When do we play friendly? I played 3 competitions with Napoli. I barely have the time to breathe. But Andy, right?
Yeah. What we could.
During the break.
We've not got any. Yeah, during the break maybe, or what we did with Soccer Manager World. So we did a similar thing. We had it working as it is, and then later we added in international management. Eventually, we put in friendlies, and then we even put cross-game world friendlies in. At one point, we could play one from another world. So what we did with that, we didn't really take fitness, didn't get knocked off, and injuries or red cards didn't get carried into the main game. So, but if they were injured or something, you couldn't play them. And yeah, so we maybe do something like that. We've not got any immediate plans until we've got this trading app out and we're out the trading side of the game. We start growing user space, and then
it's not in the
come
roadmap.
back into these things.
It's in the feature part, in that extra bonus features that maybe one day will be implemented.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Unandaluz is asking 2 questions. Andy, stop me whenever you need to go.
Good.
Yes. The questions are: the first is about the America Champions. Whether it could be improved that it was in Europe before. I really don't know exactly what it's referring to right now. And the second question is about if they plan to implement an MLS or NBA style player swap. That's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. On the second question, we've not got any plans for that. On the first question, I think that might be could it be in the first season we had some European teams in the Iceland or something. Maybe have some country went to America instead of the Europeans or something. Might be that was the question. Or that might have been a beta. I can't remember.
Yes, I don't understand. Maybe it will maybe rephrase it somehow. Okay, we'll see. Maybe in the next comments we will rephrase it. Block. What about player age? So the player age, how it can impact the performance? Will we see that? So far it doesn't, as far as we know. But is this something that could be implemented in the future, or is in your plans?
The player page.
Player age.
Player age. So as they play differently if they get older.
Yeah. Maybe the stamina or the energy levels or things like that.
Yeah.
Injuries.
Maybe. Maybe injuries. Possibly. I mean, real life kind of reflects that in the rating, but whether we add something within the game as well.
True.
So yeah, they are kind of playing worse with the rating going down because they're getting older, and whatever's happening, when they get injured in real life, like all the ages, all the players, it would affect them. So if they get injured more in real life because they're older, I guess it's kind of getting reflected a bit in the game. Would they lose fitness more? Could stamina go down when they get to a certain age? Possibly. I mean, that might be interesting because then it changes the transfer market a bit and who you buy.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to think about.
So
it's by the cheap old players.
For now, age has nothing to do with how it plays in Soccerverse, and it's not okay. It's a possibility for the future. Next, when a new chat and Europa League, Dringa, new chat and Europa League.
Yeah, we've been working on a new chat. Actually, it looks a lot nicer than the current one. I believe it's just going to be in the new app only. I don't believe it's going to change in the old one. So when the new app goes available, you'll see it's a lot nicer and cleaner, and it's using a different system. But yeah, chat is really important in this game, so it's certainly an area you really need to improve on, I think, to get communication going between people. But yeah, there will be one in the new app. Looks a lot nicer.
Nice. So we're waiting for the new app. And Europa League, it's still a maybe?
It's still a maybe, yeah. Just while we just prioritise the other things, really.
Sure.
Because that's a little bit more tricky because you could qualify. Yeah, it just adds the qualifications, makes it a little bit more tricky. You could have one season you won a cup, and you've also we did that. We had to do that with the other one when we added the Cup Winners' Cup. So if you won a domestic cup or you've done the double, and this would add another little dimension in. So
yes.
It's a bit of work, yeah. And then there's the implications of how much money is that introducing into the game world. Coming back to the original at the start of the show when we were saying that we're trying to keep in general the roadmap to be so the game world in balance by default. So this,
yeah, it's complicated. We spoke about it a lot of time, and I think early season 2 we did live streams all about that, and Tiki had some nice plans and draft, etc. So if you ever want to get serious into that, there is a lot of nice discussions already happened in the community. They are experts on how to implement Europa League, and even Tiki did a major job on that.
He did, yeah. I think I even had the number of qualifications from each country.
Yeah. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Chippy, this is probably could you explain briefly skills? Okay, this is about skills. It's probably a technical one. Could you briefly explain which player skills help with what in terms of actions in the game? For example, what exactly does the goalkeeper's skill affect? What does it affect? Is it added value to the defensive calculation, or is it a direct contest between the goalkeeper and the striker once the defense attack calculation has already been made?
Yeah, I believe it's shot stopping striker versus shot
Okay, so
versus
basically
goalkeeper. I
attacking
don't think
versus
that's-
defense is gone, and there is always only the striker that shoots versus the goalkeeping ability to keep.
Yeah, so I'll have to have a look exactly the formula. I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it. I don't believe the goalkeeper is adding anything to the defense
Okay,
of the team.
okay.
It might be, but I don't think.
The defense
It might be. I'll have
limit
to
the
check.
number of shots on target, maybe, or shots in general, and then
Yeah.
second phase, the goalkeeper reduce the likelihood of being a goal, something like that.
Yeah, compared to the strength of the striker.
Okay, okay.
I
Thank you.
believe so. Yeah, it's more like that's probably. I'll have to double check that, but that's how I remember it.
That's probably good. A good answer. That's what we wanted to know, mostly. I'm here for the glory. Kev, about portfolio management. Are we gonna be able to buy and sell multiple clubs on different price ranges instead of going one by one? It's hard and not a good experience right now to manage all the clubs' influence we have. So batched purchases.
That's a good idea. I mean, when we, I don't believe it's in the app at the moment, but when we give it to the community to give feedback on, because this sort of thing's a bit new, because it's not in the old app. The portfolio management's more the focus, or it's the new, certainly the bit that's been added on that wasn't there. So that'd be a good chance for the community to come back, and things like multiple actions. So we used to get. I mean, can we just put 3 players on the transfer market at the same time? It might be one if we were talking about the normal game. So this is the sort of feedback we would get. So it's not there at the moment, but it
It's
could be.
interesting.
It is, yeah. Especially if you've got a big portfolio, you might want to do multiple actions at once.
Yeah.
Even just put it up for sale at a certain price.
Sales, yes, you can have a list, like some NFT marketplaces. It works like a list, and then for every row it's your club influence or player influence, and then you can sell it at a certain price, and once all the list is filled, you click submit, and then poof. Nacho actually was doing the example of, imagine I have to send you, Andy, 20 influence of Napoli, 10 of PSG, 5 of Bayern Monaco, blah blah blah, and instead of doing one by one, it would be nice to group and send group actions. That makes sense. The more we grow,
Definitely,
the more
yeah.
it makes sense.
Definitely, yeah.
Cool. Questions about Chippy social login. We know this can sometimes be a headache, but it also allows for much easier onboarding, especially for non-crypto players. With version 2, the social login are going to disappear. Correct me if I'm wrong. How do you plan to compensate for this or make onboarding easier for new and non-crypto players? Do you expect a significant impact?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'll have to. Maybe that's one for the next show. I'll have to talk a bit more with Snailbrain on this. But yeah, we're considering all different things because, yeah, some pros and cons to social login.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, it's not fully decentralized for a start.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we've been having some issues with it recently because we're dependent on third parties. But then it is easier for certain people to get in who don't,
Yeah.
aren't comfortable with MetaMask. So it's pros and cons to that. So yeah, we keep talking around it and going over those pros and cons. But maybe
One
next
of the
time
next. One of the
might
next.
be clear. One of the next ones, yeah.
Okay, cool. Chippy, how is possession decided? Passing skills of players or something else? And what does have better possession actually imply? Like, more chances or a higher probability of scoring a goal?
Oh, I actually don't know the answer to that.
You know what, Andy? Probably we should do, once you're ready, like a one live only about formulas, if you can and want, because we are not in Nirvana yet. It's not open source. Maybe some things you don't want to share, but maybe a game engine nerd version of it. The questions, the formulas, the code, a code review or something like that. If you agree, because Chippy is very interested. Claw, all the developers are interested. People are super interested. But I understand if this must be for now silo. What do you think? It's an idea. I just had it now.
Yeah, we could do that. We could have a session where the code is sort of in front of me, and I could try my best to get to that relevant part of it. I don't think we've got any secrets on how things work, really. The open source is mainly because like people don't get advantages over other people. We want to make it balanced so that there isn't any sort of like we were talking about earlier. But to actually, in fact, there is segments of code is in the wiki when we put some in. So the code's not secret how it works. We don't intend it to be. Just having it fully open source, people can run tools on it and analyze it, and might find something and not report it to us, the community, and get an advantage. That's our main thing. 100%. So if we can weed those out, and then we'll open source.
Think about it.
Do a session like that.
Think about it.
Yeah,
it will be super interesting for everyone. Like a sneak peek, be pre-open source in it. You might even see that maybe we find something that can be done better or not. Well, think about it. It could be interesting because Chippy has a lot of these questions that I understand. It's a big code base. You cannot remember everything. Let's keep it in the drawer of ideas. We'll talk about it later. Could an agent have the possibility to activate? Mariano asking, could an agent have the possibility to activate? Is he owns the whole influence of the player? A release clause fee. More expensive than the 8x, something like 12x. Paying in the moment the club decides to buy, the agent should approve and make it effective in the change of the season. Wow. All right. That's fundamentally interesting. It's like what do you thought about it? I don't want to condition it, but
maybe if we could keep that one and we could go and have a read and think about it in a bit more depth. I mean, generally, any changes in the transfer market, the main thing that always jumps whenever we talk about transfer market is people cheating. So that's the first thing. Don't mean that particular idea. It's always like if we implement it, can people cheat with it or extract SVC out or ruin a club because they just want to ruin a club? That said, because things get harder, that gets harder to do over time. These new ideas become more plausible to put in.
That's good. Yeah. That's a suggestion. What about randomness of Champions League draw? Can it be fine-tuned in the future? Because some groups now have all good teams while others have weak teams.
Yeah, it is just a random shuffle at the moment. So we could possibly distribute this
weighted by rating, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Certain countries go into a pot and like they do in real life.
That's another good suggestion. Kev is just Nacho is just joking about the upcoming economy change. So the upcoming secret thing, if he has to prepare tissues, he needs to cry or not. We'll see, Nacho. We'll see. Dringa, this is actually a curiosity. I don't know. I saw on Discord managers got 10 SVV today, but he didn't. What's the reason? What is this airdrop? Like 10 SVV, some managers.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the details of that exactly, but Snailbrain will. So I'm not
Surprise.
too sure.
We don't know
Yeah.
what happened, but I also found 10 SVV, which is nice.
Oh yeah, I think it's gone out randomly or something, but I'm not. I'm not too sure on. And the announcement, the tool that was supposed to announce it didn't work or something like that. Yeah,
Okay, so
I don't know the
something
details.
is going
but-
on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Some testing, some maybe they were testing the airdrop. I don't know the influence 10% airdrop that we're gonna have in March. I think. Yeah, I think so. Well, we don't know, Dringa. I'm sorry you didn't get it. It was random, apparently, or maybe not. We will know maybe more in the future.
Yeah, it's one for somebody. I'm not too sure what that side of things.
The last two questions. Chippy, another question about fitness. We know that when playing slow, normal, or fast, the total fitness consumed at the end of the match is the same. So, the difference must be in how the player uses the stamina during the match. Could you explain this part in a bit more details? Would it be logical that, for example, when playing slow, the player will consume less fitness?
Yes, I'll need to go and have a look at this. I did know the answer to this not that long ago because somebody else was asking me. It might have been Sippy actually, and I did look at it. So don't maybe I'll say this, but it might be wrong. I believe that stamina, the more stamina you've got, the less you go down during the match. So you can drop faster basically during the match. That's what it affects. But after the match, there's a different way of calculating what your fitness is.
Okay.
So there's like two levels of it. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have a look. If we do that in-depth coding session, we're gonna find out. Last question. Pimo, player rating going up or down? Is the number to how much a player can move in rating being set? Okay. Understood. We might not get this player jumping 30 points in rating anymore. But if it is limited, how can one then explain if limited to 5, then a player actually going to 30 would need 6 seasons in-game to reach?
So yeah, we'd still not decided on the final details, but we will really shortly because we need to announce it in good time before the season 4 starts, so people can sort of plan really.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at this soon. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, what we're thinking is that you'd have a target, and a target. So at the moment, you could look at it. It's been jumping 100% to the target, but going forward, we might jump 50% to the target this season. So you will tend towards what he should be. So if a player was 50 rated, and previously he jumped up to 70 rated, and the new one, that the target will still be 70, but it will jump to 60. And then if the target for the new season isn't 70, it's 80, it will then jump between 60 and 80, so he jumps to 70. And then if his target stayed at 80 whilst he's in the middle of his career, he would get to 80 and he just stay at 80, so there won't be any changes, and the drops would then be as fast.
Going down the same,
So
right?
that's-
Yes, the drop is the same.
I believe so, yes. We don't get these big swings. And also, if a player comes down a bit, his target, and it goes up and then down, he's not swinging up and down so much. It's more a bit smoother. So he has one bad season in real life. He's maybe have an injury, broke his leg, didn't play so much. He doesn't drop dramatically, and then he starts playing again and he goes up dramatically. So it should be a bit better. But that's we're not definitely doing that though. We're looking at something like that.
Cool. Thank you so much, Andy. I think we reached the end of the questions. Big applause. Andy, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Chippy is offering you beers for code review. He's saying, Andy, hope this summer I can go to Manchester Lead and we can talk about the engine with a beer in front of us. You say one code and he pays your beer, one beer. And then they publish the interview. So someone will get very drunk because
Sounds good.
because Chippy has 2,000 questions about code. So get ready. Get ready with beer.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for
you so
having me
much.
on. And thanks for letting me answer these questions, and looking forward to the next.
I hope you
next
enjoyed.
time.
Yes, for sure. Whenever you can, if we can make this monthly, it's just up to you. Let me know. We organize it. Maybe next time we'll try to make it quicker somehow. We maybe I have a few ideas, Andy. I will tell you about for the format, so that we are maybe we stay in 1 hour and a half, something like that. Do you hire more people? Why, Chloe? That's another question, but for the next month. Keep it for the next month, Chloe. Thank you, Andy, again. Thank you, everyone. There's no time for the recap of this game week. We're gonna do it together in one of the next live. Thank you. See you next time. Andy, thank you again. See you.
Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.